So of course it has to be, 1,000 degrees out. Like, I literally just got out of the car and I'm waiting for the brothers to text me, and I already feel like I'm gonna die of heat. I'm gonna be soaked before they even see me. You know what? Wait a minute. They keep their phone in their camera bag. So they're not getting my texts. That's what's going on. So maybe they like me after all. But, being around these people is almost intimidating. Like, they just generate information. It's insane. Like, so much so that you like imagine it in their wake. And it's crazy because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to contribute. It's like, there's a moth. It's pretty. Like, I don't know what to say. It's insane. Ooh. Look what I found. Looks dead, but check this out. Have a look at this. Lucanus copriolis, I suppose. This is a red stag beetle. Camera can't focus on it. This one's almost dead. Not doing too well. But the males don't last very long, neither do the females. Once they become adults, their whole purpose is to breed, reproduce, and then perish. They spend most of their life in the larval form, as a giant grub. And then they go into the pupa stage and then eventually emerge as an adult. I've bred a bunch of these recently. Okay, so I'm pulling into the park, and word is they started without me. So I'm gonna have to slash some tires, teach them a lesson, see what happens when you start before me. Which is often what people have to do because I like to show up late, so it's kind of like what happens. Okay, so I'm about to meet them. They're a little ways past here. Apparently, they done found themselves a cicada killer, and everyone around here knows that I've been trying to find one for a while now, and to save it for me, because I want to talk about it and get stung by it. So, what do you know? All four of them had it sting them without me. Now, they didn't know, I suppose. Well, they didn't. I'm not bitter. I'm not upset. Those black legs. That thing is really big for a grass spider. God, I wish the guys were here for this. I'm just getting the best audio recording, you guys. I mean, it's been awesome. I don't even know what kind of stuff you're doing with the twins. Sounds like you'll make some good money off it.
Everyone thought the Avengers entrance in Endgame was the best. That was the best entrance ever.
Yeah, oh my god.
How you doing, Chris?
How you guys doing?
You really had to book.
We'll do a lot better now that you're here to find us a red salamander.
Dude, I don't know how many ringnecks you guys found already.
2.
Okay, good, because there was one right there, and I just watched it go into the bushes.
Yeah, I got 1 yesterday, and I flipped 2 today. I would be shocked if the northern... Who the fuck is that? Who is that?
Oh, it's two things.
No, that's a toad.
That's a beetle, right?
Yeah.
Is it a broadneck? I need my glasses. Broadneck root borer.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a small one too.
Is it?
Female.
What is it? Broad-necked root borer.
Well,
Good spotting, by
Thank
the way. That was from a distance, dude.
It was.
Okay, what you got there, dude?
So we're striking out on salamanders, but I just flipped this beautiful Cambarus bartoni, the brook crayfish. Has a couple of names, sometimes called the Appalachian mountain crayfish, the eastern crayfish. I know it as the brook crayfish. And the way I can tell that it's a brook crayfish, right on the claws there, they have orange tips. So that's a dead giveaway that you're looking at this species. And the pinch isn't really that bad. Come here. Come on.
So, appearance-wise, what's the difference between them guys and a burrowing crayfish?
That's a great question. Yeah. I really don't encounter that many burrowing crayfish, though I thought these guys...
Town has some.
Yeah? I thought these guys make burrows.
Yeah,
you can see he's really going to town, but this is a small individual for this species, so it's not really damaging me much. But I would love to demonstrate, if you don't need anything more, Chris, how I get them off of me.
Yeah.
It's a really tried and true method. Put them back in the water. Let go, put them back, they'll let go. Don't have to worry about crayfish if you're out there exploring. Just be nice and gentle. If you want them off of you, put your hand back in.
Or set it in the pot.
That.
You're gonna want to film to make a flip.
Oh, jeez.
See what we can do.
Yeah, good call. Go ahead.
Lift with your back in a twisty, jerky motion, just like.
Wait, that's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got that one, Jack. All right, hold on. Big boys. All right, go ahead.
Look under there.
Don't see anything. Besides two losers holding up a rod.
After all that, no
Hold on,
salamanders?
wait, put your hand on.
That actually kind of... That's kind of like, I thought there'd be an erodia under there at least.
All right, something.
Get rid of it.
You know what? I mean, seriously, that's one of the reasons why I don't do so much herping in July and August.
Oh,
It's,
yeah, no.
you know, they don't like the heat.
We forgot to mention that the herping...
The OBTs, like a lot of the baboon tarantulas developed that, wicked toxic venom to fend off against baboons and other primates. And that would be my guess, Atrax has a primate-specific neurotoxin, but then, of course, there's Latrodectus. Latrodectus has...
You're right, because they're not there. Exactly.
well, they could have developed that,
beforehand?
for, like, early hominids, like people.
And they would have been hunting
Yeah.
the spiders for sure.
Yeah, that would be my guess, but I don't... But then, if you look at Latrodectus, like the alpha latrotoxin, you've got crustacean-specific latrotoxin, insect-specific latrotoxin, mammal-specific latrotoxin, so it might have just branched out into a general...
Loxelles is like that. I mean, it's got 18 compounds, right?
Right, yeah.
And what is it, 12 of them affect humans?
look at the size
I got
of that
him.
thing. Tiny long tail.
I guess you'd call that a short tail.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is that a... Yeah, that's a long tail.
It is.
Tiger stripes
That
on the
is-
tail.
Do you
Honestly,
need a belly cup or something?
It's adorbs.
Maybe.
It's adorbs. You're about to get kicked out of the North American Herping group.
I know, right?
I'm gonna boop its snoot.
There you go.
Oh, where'd the other one go?
Right here.
Boop your cervical vertebra with a rock.
My C4.
Yeah.
Just knock me out. Leave me here.
Okay, take a look at what I just flipped. We got them in this deli cup so we can film them to show you guys. Look at the size of these little long-tailed salamanders. Oh my gosh, these can't be more than like an inch, 1.2 inches long. Teeny tiny little babies.
Can I point out something cool that it's doing?
Absolutely.
That is exactly what that is. So that salamander is hoping that we giant predators here are going to grab that tail because, as with a lot of salamanders, they can pop their tails off. That's called caudal autonomy. We've talked about that quite a bit. And he is holding that tail up, hoping that we go for that rather than his head.
Because he can live without a tail, but no head, no dice, buddy.
That kind of gives them the chance to live and tell the tale.
Oh yes, live and tell the
No
tale.
pun intended.
Get out.
A ton over here. Look at that. Look at them all in the creases.
You know, this is my first time here at night.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
This place is, I love this place at night.
It's another world. I genuinely had no idea these were here until today. I've seen them a bunch in the area, never here at Tyler.
These
I
ones
shouldn't
have
say
some
that.
good.
I've never seen these guys here at this park.
They're boldly
Nice. Yeah, exactly. These ones, the markings on these ones are really distinct.
I almost can never get them in hand. Also, never had one bite me either.
I got bit once.
What are these?
Trees. Is that spice bush? Smell the leaf. Is it fragrant if you bruise it?
A bruised game?
Yeah, spice bush. So the bark on this, on the roots,
Smell great.
is really, really good for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that nice? It's good for poison ivy.
Is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But yeah.
On a purely
Texas is rough.
scientific level, there are definitely subspecies
Yeah.
of people by the taxonomic classifications that we've used with other species. Can you write that right
No.
now? No.
Just wanted to bring that up because I'm always curious what other people think and what they think would happen if
It's like
you said that to just anyone.
it's like saying,
What would determine?
is there life? Is
Huh?
there life elsewhere in the universe? Of course there is.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no chance.
And what determines life? Can
Right.
we detect life in a spark?
I mean, and
That
what if-
spark
what
could
if-
be 20 generations.
What about non-carbon based life forms?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Our entire taxonomic system and our way of defining a species is inherently flawed.
It is.
Because everyone,
That's why we're always changing
Right.
things.
every group of taxonomists, every group of people who studies different animals, use different things. I have a
So
friend-
far, what an amazing day. Amazing people. And I actually got to spend time with each of them today. Like each one of them spent some time, walking around with me and talking and stuff. And it's awesome. To tell you the truth, I feel like amazing. Really made my summer, to tell you the truth. It's been a good summer, but yeah. So these are basically in the tiger moth family, which I'm really hoping to find tonight because I have some stuff I want to say about them. These Clymene moths, when they're caterpillars, will feed on peach trees and willows and stuff. And of course we have willow trees here. I'm hoping I can show this to the group, but it would be really cool if I could find a tiger moth.
Yeah, no.
That's a tiger. Yo, if you guys don't know about this moth, you might want to record this. The reason I love this species,
Yeah,
that's the first
hell
one
yeah.
here. These guys have sonar distracting and absorbing scales. So the bats either can't see them at all with their sonar, or it tells them that it's somewhere else. Same with the tails on a Luna moth.
So it deflects the sonar of bats.
Yep. Or
Wow, that's
absorbs
amazing.
it. Like it does a little
Hi.
of both.
Look at
That's
that. I feel honored I've been chosen by this evolutionary marvel
They're
of a
also
wasp.
instantly lethal when they land on you.
They are. This is my last
for nothing.
this is my last moment
Got that.
here on Earth, and I'm spending it with this gorgeous moth.
Crognathus.
Yep.
What an incredible opportunity to film a really, really, there you can see him better. Beautiful tiger moth. You can see why they get the name from those gorgeous stripes on the thorax there. Hey, buddy.
They remind me of
Let's
Art Deco.
get to the trap, shall we? Can't even get there. Hello.
Something I want to add about these camel crickets, or pretty much all crickets for that matter, is it's pretty easy to tell, is the fact that they are sexually dimorphic. You can easily tell the difference between male and females by looking here at their end. See these two sticks on either side? Those are cerci. Males just have those two cerci, whereas the females have this little ovipositor right there in the middle. That's what she uses to lay her eggs, to deposit eggs. So I really like these, camel crickets. They can actually get bigger than this. Not a whole lot bigger, but they get bigger than this. Look at those super long antennae that are obviously used for feeling and sensing their way around in the dark. That's how they get their other name, cave cricket. But these are really cool. This is a female. So, like, you know, you build a structure around a spring because, oh, look at it, we got fish in there. Spring water is 55 degrees all year. So you build a structure like this to catch the water in, and then you can put any of your food in like pots or whatever and submerge them in here, and this is a refrigerator for like the last 1,000 years.
That is really cool.
Yeah, man.
So stepping away from the trap for a bit, we found these reddish-brown stag beetles, which I know are a favorite of yours, Jack.
Absolutely. So I just flipped one of these logs, and we actually have a pair here. The female is in my hand. You can tell she's a female because of the lacking of those powerful mandibles that we get to see on the male.
Yep, and I, of course, have the male. Now we know that those mandibles can deliver a bit of a bite, but that is really not. You can see this guy's being super calm. He's walking across my hands and not really giving us any issues. They are just content to be left well enough alone.
Alright guys, take a look at what I just found under this log. This is a really nice, big, staphylinid Rove beetle larva. So these are primarily carnivorous, and they're feeding on usually the larvae of other insects. And a lot of these really nice Rove beetles are really sneaky about where they leave their larvae. They'll actually show up on dead animals or rotting fungi, and they will deposit their eggs there, not to feed on the dead animals or rotting larvae, or rotting fungi, but the larvae of other insects that are attracted to decomposing those things.
To death. Oh, this fly is actually still alive, but caught. See, the legs are moving around a bit.
So we have two gorgeous leopard slugs here, one of the largest gastropods, the snails and slug family that we get here in Pennsylvania, and we believe that they're actually courting. So that guy in the back, I am not great at telling males and females apart. I'm not even sure if they are sexually dimorphic, actually. But if I had to guess, what would you reckon, Chris? Would you say?
Hermaphrodites.
Yeah. Male reproductive fluid. And they're also called gypsibellums, are the scientific name for those love darts, so they will shoot them into each other. Oh, and look at that. See on this one up top, you have that big hole?
There you go.
That is the neostome. That is their lung. That big hole there is how they're breathing as they're making their way up the tree here.
This is Camponotus pennsylvanicus, but that's not what we want. Oh, here's a, ooh, that's actually really interesting. Formophilic isopod, I think. So those actually, sorry, is my light too intense? Yes. These actually inhabit ant colonies in particular. It's pretty neat. Let's see where those Ponera went. There, that is Ponera pennsylvanica, which is a super tiny Ponerinae tribe ant. Now these are hunting ants, so even though they're super small, these are, you know, real big on catching protein, so they're hunting for like springtails and tiny little termites perhaps, and they're bringing those back to the colony so that they can feed the queen and their larvae. But they are super interesting. Ponerinae is a really diverse tribe, which includes some of the larger panther ants and even trapjaw ants.
Wow. And were those larvae earlier belonging to them?
Those were pupa.
Pupa, I mean?
Yeah, so that's actually a really cool adaptation that Ponerinae, here's another one, that Ponerinae have, and that's actually an adaptation to make their pupa easier to carry. So they're a very primitive group of ants, but they were able to develop that interesting little technique because it makes essentially a little handbag for them to kind of pinch with their mandibles and carry them off.
That's crazy.
But they're really nice if you can get close enough up to them. They've got a really powerful set of jaws, and actually some nice coloration. There's a little reddish towards the abdomen, right on the end of the gaster, and then their jaws are actually reddish. So they're super small, but they're really, really pretty ants.
They're so long.
Yeah, and they're very elongate, and that's kind of a body plan you'll see in a lot of the Ponerinae, and it's because their queens are semiclaustral, which means that they have to hunt the entire time of the founding stage. So the queens are very similar in size and structure to the workers, and they don't have a lot of storage capacity. And what I mean by that is they're having to hunt and feed almost constantly because they can't really store up a lot of food or water in their abdomens because their metabolism is essentially too fast. And so they really have to prioritize some of that length of that abdomen to help them get enough food and water stored up before they have to come right back out and forage for more food.
That's crazy. Is this a primitive species?
Very primitive. Ponerinae in general is a very primitive tribe of ant.
It's rough.
Oh man, tell me about it. This is Porcellio laevis, maybe.
Because of those white markings?
Well, you can tell because, see, the body shape is a lot different than Armadillidium. Armadillidium is very domed. Yeah, these are very flat, and they get bigger.
That's cool, okay.
So you can see how they're flatter, and they got these little spikes towards the end, and they're kind of like almost
Are
little
those their
scales.
snorkel things? Because, like, I've read about them, but I don't actually know what I'm looking at when I look for them. But apparently they're
I'm not
really
sure.
obvious to see.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Because the marine isopods in the genus Lygia.
Okay, so for me, this was a complete blast. And, you know, we found some cool stuff. We never found those reds, you know, kind of like the Cold War. It's just, it's all hearsay, but you never actually see anything. You can't really listen to what they say.
They're not
Can't
real.
rely
They're
on,
not real.
on these guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, we saw some ringnecks, a lot of cool sallies. And, you know, for me, really exciting stuff are the invertebrates and the ants that you were telling me about. That was really cool. So, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed. I gave you a ton of appetizers, kind of like hors d'oeuvres, to steer you guys towards the actual videos that are going to have the parts. If you're interested, you got to check them out. These people rock. I'll never forget this night or this weekend for my whole life. So, I mean, you got to check out their channels. It's all I can say. And so what was your favorite find?
Oh man.
Okay, cool. So what about you?
Anyway, brilliant. It's gotta be. It's either the long-tailed salamanders are fun.
Yep.
And we knew going in we wanted to show that to you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But for me, I was blown away by the firefly larva. That just opened my eyes to something that I took for granted, truly. Even as a wildlife lover, growing up loving fireflies, just hearing you talk, Chris, was amazing.
We got to do a firefly night together.
That's gotta happen.
Once we leave.
Yes.
Of course.
It's worth noting, every time we come out with Chris, and now as we've been out with Jack and Gage, we learn new things all the time. Where it's just, you know, everyone learning from everyone, teaching. It's so much fun getting front row seats to like the best lesson ever, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a treat being out with you guys.
I mean, I think we all just can glean so much off of each other. You know, somebody will find something and it'll be completely different from what somebody else would have found, and they'll have an entire blurb to say about it that, you know, we didn't even know about or anything. So I just think, yeah, it's been so much fun. We got a lot of lifers, so that's been great. Yeah, long-tails for us and all sorts of crazy things, some stag beetles and all sorts of things. Yeah, tons of long-tails.
Geez, it really is different than herping for salamanders in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
So do we have more sallies up here than you guys do in Texas? I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, I think the whole stretch of like Appalachia is like the most diverse salamander hotspot in like the world. So like every single salamander we encountered here was completely new to us, and definitely a lot higher quantity. We've only found one salamander this entire year in Texas, and it was a western lesser siren, and we were completely shocked to find it. And that's really one of the only two species you can find in our area, and they're super difficult to find because Texas is just not super kind of conducive to salamander behavior and
so
ecology.
You guys got the reptiles, we have the amphibians.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how did you guys find the night hike in the deciduous habitat
It was
here.
great. We saw a ton of really cool stuff that I was excited to find. I was really hoping to get another species of leucanid checked off my list, which I did, which was great. And then we saw all sorts of cool staphylinids, and those gigantic slugs were really interesting. And of course, the Lampyridae larva was always cool to see. So yeah, we had a great time. We found a lot of really cool stuff and learned a lot of cool things even. And taught some cool stuff, I hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I learned so much this weekend, and I hope you guys did too. Gage, what was your favorite thing?
Probably the long-tailed salamanders.
Excellent.
Yeah, probably the long-tails. I mean, they're a phenomenally gorgeous, vibrant species. I mean, honestly, more so than any species of salamander we've got in Texas. I mean, we've got like the spotteds, but I mean, just a bright, almost highlighter yellow.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
salamander.
actually my favorite species.
Yeah,
of salmon,
they
so.
are.
That was one of
Phenomenal.
our top targets, salamander wise. It was hellbenders, longtails, and reds, and we got hellbenders and longtails, so we can't complain.
Yeah, and I think you guys,
Hellbenders, I mean, they're like you know leagues ahead of.
you need to
everything
come back,
else.
and we'll get you those reds.
Absolutely,
Another season.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Don't get my hopes up, right? They're like, yeah, come back up. 26-hour drive, no problem, man. Come back up. We'll get you some more
I
salamanders.
can't believe you found those hellbenders.
Without
Looking at each other,
Yeah.
right? Guys, you got to check out their video because show them how big, with your hands, your biggest hellbender was.
Oh gosh.
Don't look at each other. Okay, good.
I mean,
I mean-
over 20 inches.
Yeah, 20, 22 inches.
Oh yeah,
It's
Enormous.
a salamander.
yeah,
enormous.
gigantic.
At least 9 feet long.
At least-
hundreds of pounds.
400 pounds probably. I mean, it almost took Gage's leg off.
It chased me, yeah. It chased me down. It grabbed me by the leg. I mean, I was underwater for like 10 minutes.
We
I
thought he
died
was
twice.
dead.
We had a
had to
triplet that
resuscitate
was
him.
eaten by
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, a triplet. One of the wildlife brothers has succumbed to predation by an enormous salamander.
And this wasn't Trenton, so go figure.
Man.
But on that note, I want to say thanks a lot for watching, and each one of these losers is going to give their sign out.
Oh, each of us is gonna give a sign out.
Say something.
Say something.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
And check out their channels. The links will not be in the description below. They will be, though. And Chris Ignato, signing out.
Be brave.
Stay
Stay true to yourselves.
and feel your arms.
And make sure you subscribe.
That was awesome.
Cool.
Oh, I love it. That's gonna be a
so
fun
much,
one to
guys.
watch when you're sad.
You gotta listen to this green frog. He's got the standard, no, no, right? But then he goes, "Dip, dip, 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 dip." You know, some of them go, no, 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 right? But this one goes, no, 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 no. He'll do it again in a second. It's funny. See, that's normal. Any second. Something kind of big is behind me.